Welcome to everyone for joining us on this Meet the Team. I'm Carla, and I am the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Justice Coordinator.
And I'm Christopher Colebourn, the Social and Emotional Learning Coach, and I'm also an Enrichment Supervisor.
So just a little bit about myself. I have been at EB since 2018, so making this my 5th year at EB. Most people probably met me in my first years at EB as the lower school counselor and also the DEIJ coordinator. But since last year, I have been the DEIJ coordinator solely. And also one thing that's new is because I also moved to Atlanta, Georgia. And I have been very privileged to be able to continue working with EB and to kind of continue our project of moving forward our DEIJ initiatives and goals. I have a bachelor's in psychology with an emphasis in clinical psychology, and my professional life actually started in sports psychology. And I worked with soccer players in Portugal for a couple of years with, I started off playing with younger players, so kind of like 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds. And then I started working with professional players, mostly at the end of their career. And then since 2003, I don't want to date myself too much, I have been working at international schools in Portugal, in Brazil, and then here in the US. And here's just a little picture of my wonderful family. I have a 13, almost 14-year-old son, Tiago, and my husband also, who is born in France. And this year we, got to spend some time traveling around France, which was a lot of fun.
Okay, so this is a picture of my beautiful wife, who is a 5th grade teacher here at EB. Her name is Marion. We met here at school, and that is my daughter, Lily, who went to EB as well. I've been here since 2005, and Lily is an alumni of EB. I studied child psychology and child development at San Francisco State University. I also studied Vietnamese, and I taught English in Vietnam for 6.5 years, which was a wonderful experience in my life. I'm trained in restorative justice and mindfulness practices through SEEDS and mindful schools. Many of us were trained in this, but I took a lot more courses. The cool thing about working at EB is that they're really keen on, making sure that we're all, sort of upgrading and learning more, because so many things change through the years with the social unrest, for example, and with the SEL program. So I've been, taking conferences and courses in implicit bias and anti-racism for educators as well. So I'm also very passionate about social justice issues related to people of color and women. And I love my job here. I've been here for a long time, it seems. Magali established the SEL program here with Terry, who was the head or vice head of the school. And I just sort of helped further it along through the years. I've been doing it, I think, for about 6 years. And I'm really passionate about it. And I'm grateful that I'm able to teach it here at school.
So I'm going to start off just talking a little bit about, what does diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice mean to us at EB? So what are these terms actually, what does it look like to us? So basically, diversity is really just recognizing the spectrum of all different individual human differences. So things like language and race and ethnicity, sexual orientation, socioeconomical status, and different physical abilities, style of learning and thinking, religion and political beliefs. And we fully believe that a diverse school community really fosters and cultivates that ability of understanding and empathy, and learning within our school community and abroad, right? When we talk about equity, we want to make sure that everyone has the equal opportunity for success. So not giving everyone the same resources, but actually giving people the resources that they need, to account for their own individual experiences, needs, and challenges. So kind of like as we look at the picture, when we talk about equality, we're giving everyone the same bicycle, but they don't really need that same, right? Because they have different sizes or different abilities. But when we're talking about equity, we're giving what each person needs due to their own experience and needs. When we're talking about inclusion, right, it's sort of like how we can see in the picture. So the diversity is the different little pieces, and they can be a little bit spread out, but inclusions, we're bringing them together. We're making people feel, we really want everyone in our community to feel welcome, to feel belonging, a sense of belonging. We want them to feel heard and seen. So it is somewhere where everyone feels valued for who they are, for their stories, their backgrounds. And then last, what does justice mean, right? Is being able to recognize that not all groups have or have had equal access to power, wealth, and resources, right? And that that unequal distribution of resources has created privileges, and that we are working to counteract those inequalities. So we are able to look at systems and situations that have caused these inequalities, and how can we be able to correct them and change them for the future. So kind of how do we get organized, and how do we move forward with bringing forward our goals, to bring forward our actions and initiatives at school? So we have a DEIJ committee that is composed of faculty, staff, members of the Board of Trustees, administrators, and parents. So there's about 13 of us, and that we meet on a regular basis. And we've been able to establish and create a strategic goal for the next 3 years to be able to kind of move forward our goals and initiatives. And this committee works very closely with the Board of Trustees DEIJ committee, the Parent Association DEIJ Advisory Board, and we also have an internal DEIJ task force that will look at other internal aspects, like mostly like curriculum and other things. So just to give you a little bit of a timeline of the progression. So EB has been, having DEIJ initiatives at the forefront of, really at the heart of a lot of things that we've done, even before this 2018 of the hiring of the DEIJ coordinator, which was myself. So a lot of things had already been put into place, but the idea was to kind of be able to have someone who would help kind of just coordinate things, be able to organize, and be able to put things a little bit together. So in 2019, 2020 was when we actually created our task force, our internal task force. And we started putting forward a lot of, faculty and staff and parent workshops. We had, a full faculty and staff summer reading where we read How to Be an Anti-Racist by Kendi. And it was also the beginning of the kickoff of several parent affinity groups. In 2020-21 was the first year of the DEIJ committee, where we brought all those different stakeholders together. We developed the strategic plan, and we had several workshops with Dr. Derek Gay. Then last year, it was the first year of implementation of our strategic plan, and we engaged as a full community in the NIES assessment for inclusivity and multiculturalism, so AIM. And after the break, we will be able to share the results of those with the full community. We'll be having a town hall, and more communication on that will be coming soon. And then this year is our year 2 of our implementation of our strategic plan. And kind of some of the big things that we've been starting to do is to look more closely at our curriculum to ensure that really our instructional practices are anti-racist, that they're inclusive and they're equitable. And we also engaged in another summer reading around neurodiversity in the classroom. So my role is really to connect with multiple stakeholders at the school. And at the end, our goal is to be able to service in the best way possible our students, to make sure that they are having the best experience possible. So I work closely with the Board of Trustees, with the administration, with faculty and staff, and also with parents. And like I said, all our goals comes back to working for our students. And this job is a team. So Christopher and I work very closly together. We also work together with with Christine Greer, who is our middle school dean and advisory coordinator. We work closely with the counselors and the student support team. I am also part of that student support team, so that we can all be able to align objectives, that we could be able to discuss. And again, the students are always at the heart of everything that we do. And I will pass it on to Christopher.
Okay, thank you, Carla. It says, how do we foster social and emotional learning at SEL or in SEL at EB? So I would say, to put it bluntly and to simplify it, it's through our actions and through language that we teach the kids. The school sponsors me and has for the past couple of years to do professional development. And what I'll do is I'll jot everything down that I've learned, and then I'll do a workshop with the staff that I work with in the enrichment team to share the knowledge that I obtained through the conference. So they're learning about restorative justice, they're learning about SEL practices based upon the things that I've been learning. Also, we stress the importance of the development of emotional intelligence, because we know that this is a great school. It's very rigorous, it's very academic, but we also want to foster and uplift the whole child, and emotional intelligence is a big part of that. So we're giving them the language to be able to talk about their emotions, to read them in others, to process them, to to resolve conflict, and to use positive language, I statements, etc. So I think that's primarily how SEL is fostered here. I also want to say that I'm fortunate because I get to go into all the teachers' classrooms and co-teach with them. So I get to see all these teachers in action, and they're already teaching SEL. And preschool, kindergarten, they've already got their program, and I just kind of come and help to assist with that. But I am so fortunate that I get to see all these teachers in action, because they're all just so unique. They really care about the kids here, and they're already doing a fantastic job in terms of, SEL. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, we do thematic months here too. And with the syllabus that I shared, we have, like Women's History Month, Black History Month, Native American Heritage Month, Asian American Pacific Islander Month. So during these months, we touch on, through books primarily and activities, we'll touch on, how some of these groups of people have been treated and how it connects to SEL. So, we talk about some of these items, these things, and get the kids to really understand, that it hasn't been the same for all of us. And I think in that, they're able to have more empathy and compassion for others. So what was the one before this, Carla, the screen? Oh, so I teach once a month in kindergarten, and I will teach more if issues come up, like group dynamics, conflicts with kids, physical aggression, teasing, things like that. So if things come up, the teachers always talk to me and say, hey, can you come in and help out with this? And I'll do a special lesson that's geared just for that particular issue. And that's with kindergarten. And then with grades 1 through 5, I teach 45 minutes a week. Okay, the next one, if you don't mind switching it. Oh, and these are all the resources that we use. So we use Madame Pacifique, which was established with Magali, which is fantastic. And I'm not going to go through all of these. You can look at this and we'll send it to you via email, but we have some really incredible resources. And Carla has been just very instrumental in helping us, I think, just brighten up the program and really make it more exciting and more accessible to all the kids. So hats off to you. How about the next one? Oh, okay, so SEL is a spiral curriculum that introduces many topics at a developmentally appropriate level. So as students mature, they're able to dig deeper into concepts. So how does that work? Basically, I'll be teaching, a similar lesson with all grades, but as they get older, say, for example, I'm doing a lesson on emotion regulation, how to calm yourself down, anger management, things of that nature. So when I'm using the vocabulary, obviously with kindergarten, first and second grade, it's a little bit limited, but then with the older kids, it's, far more diverse and more interesting. And there's a lot more vocabulary terms that they're, and concepts that are more age appropriate. So it's really cool that they're able to go back to the same topic, but then learn more about it. We go deeper with that particular topic. Okay, next one. All right, so this is an example of, what I'm teaching in the classroom. So we always start with the guidelines and the values of the school. And then we always pretty much go to conflict resolution to give them the language and the tools to be able to work that kind of stuff out in the playground. And I'm out on the playground every single day. So I'm able to actively implement a lot of what they're learning. So that I think is a great advantage. Yeah, so these are some of the topics that we talk about, and that's for kindergarten. We have a lot of cool things that we chat about. And I am now teaching 45 minutes. Last year I was teaching 30 minutes. So I have more time now to teach them. So that enables me to always have a check-in at the very beginning of class where all the students get a talk. And it's just always in circle format. Kids take turns. They learn about active listening and really try to be present. And it's just been going really well, especially this year with more time. Yeah, so we touch on friendship, active listening, mindfulness is a big thing for us here. Identity, they get to talk about their families, their culture, their backgrounds, and they get to learn about all the other kids. All right, I think that's good. Yep, so these are some of our topics. And Carla, do you want to add anything or?
I think we could open up. I'll stop sharing and we could be able to open up if anyone has questions. And
yeah, great idea.
Hi, it's Lauren. If you hear my
Hi, Lauren.
in the background,
Hi, Lauren.
I apologize. I just had a quick question. Also, first of all, I just want to say that Jack absolutely loves SEL, loves it. He's always talking about it. But I was just curious if I've not experienced this, but when there's a bullying situation within the classroom,
Yes.
you were saying how is that something that when you say you come at like a teacher is like, hey, come into the classroom, is that something you address just with the kids, with just the kids involved, or is that like a group thing? I was just curious about what happens.
So usually there is multiple ways in which I deal with it. And so that's typically if there's a bullying situation or there's some kind of conflict that needs extra help. What I do is I have office hours every morning. And so I'll take the kids out of the class, say maybe there's 3 kids involved, and then we'll just sit down and we'll have a restorative community building circle and we'll address the issue in that way. If it's an issue that keeps coming up, and then I'll talk to the whole group about it, usually the whole grade. But right now I'm actually, speaking of bullying, I'm dedicated the whole week to anti-bullying. And so we're doing a big lesson on that this week. So perhaps that will help if that's what's going on. But parents can email me anytime and I'll address issues right away.
And I think it's important for us to mention another really important person in this dynamic, which is Reina, at least for the lower school. She's a lower school counselor. And it's, when there are situations, especially, if we're talking really about like repeated bullying and stuff like that, obviously Magali will be involved and Reina will be involved too. Because we might have to, there's different levels of situations. So usually it's like a very group kind of multifaceted approach to it.
That's true.
I love Reina, by the way. I went to high school with her. She's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, we did not know each other in high school, but when I saw her on campus, I was like, hey, wait, did we? And now we're friends.
That's so cool.
Yeah, she's amazing. We're grateful to have her.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for doing this. I know I missed out on the in-person. I'm sorry I didn't get to meet you, Carla, in person. But yeah, thank you so much for doing this. This is great. Thank you. And I didn't know a lot about, what you do, Christopher, and this has been really informative. And I just hear from my kids how much they love you, but
yeah, I'm also, Lauren, I'm going to do every, I think 8 weeks, I'm going to write a little thing in the newsletter that comes out. So you'll know exactly what they're learning. So that'll be helpful.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lauren.
Yes. Hi, Christopher. This is Rashida, Fahima's mom.
Hi, Rashida.
Hi, Clara. Hi, everyone. Sorry, I think I missed some of the meeting, but it was so important for me to talk today because yes, Fahima is talking so much about you, Christopher. And I really want to thank you for all the work that you do with the kids at school. And I just wanted to say thank you. I didn't have any question in particular, but I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure, Rashida. Absolutely. Oh, hi, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Rashida, I'm so passionate about this particular subject, SEL, and the school's been great and really just supporting me. And it's a group effort and I'm grateful to be part of it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're so glad to. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you,
welcome.
Clara.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have to just echo, what Christopher said. I think in my job too, I've always been very supported by the school, and it's wonderful to work with such a great group of people. I'm very fortunate to work very closely with Christopher, and with Magali and with the rest of so many of our stakeholders. So I feel very privileged to work at a school where SEL and DEIJ is really at the forefront, at the heart of where we at, and so that's good.
Great community.
Yes, sorry, I forgot Magali, but yes, thank you so much, Magali.
She's
Thank
very
you.
behind the scenes. You never get to
Don't
see it.
worry.
But
Sorry,
she's doing
Magali,
amazing
but yeah,
things.
I know it. I know that all the hard work pays at
Yes.
EB, and thank you for everything that you're doing for the school. Thank you, Magali.
Thank you, Rashida.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
It's a teamwork.
And it's so important for us to be able to have these opportunities to be able to talk to parents and you know, be able to get feedback also on what we're doing, because this is always a work in progress. So and it's just so important to have this partnership. So, you know, anytime if there's ever any questions or concerns or anything, please never hesitate to reach out to any of us, so that we can be able to continue working and moving forward.
Nice.
Not sure if there's any other questions, comments, feedback.
You guys are doing great. Thank you.
Thanks, Lauren.
So are you. Thank you, Lauren.
Yeah,
I know
you are
all the
too.
work that
You
you're
rock.
doing too.
Good. Well, I think maybe we can stop here. And again, as Carla said, don't hesitate to contact us if you have any questions. And we are here. And again, I think to me, social emotional learning, you know, it's a teamwork with the families. We are in together. It's communicating with each other. Sometimes, you know, you might receive a little email from me, and it's mostly, you know, I want to inform you about something that has happened. And then usually we try to work with immediately with Christopher to if we can resolve the situation at school. If not, sometimes I ask you a little support at home. And, you know, and then we have, as we said earlier, Reina, who will also intervene if needed. So teamwork. And we thank you for being participant to that as well. Want to wish you all a good evening. Thank you for to Carla, because I think it's probably what, 9:30 over there, or it's pretty late. Yeah.
Yep, 9:30.
And thank you, Christopher, also for doing that. I want to continue a little bit with that in the future. Here it was meet. We wanted to take advantage of Carla being in the Bay Area for you guys to meet her, and we thought, well, you know, Christopher can be with her. We will have like meet the student support team as well. Same format, in person, and then you know, also probably online. And we'll continue with that, maybe meet the academic team and so on. I mean, I would like to have those moments with you parents, so you can approach us and ask questions, and you know, we take down some barriers. Maybe that sometimes, you know, it's like you hear about Christopher, but you don't know who Christopher is, or you hear about Carla and you don't know who she is. So here we are here in front of you, and wanted you to be able to speak with us. So again, a series that we will continue in the future, and we are looking forward to see you again. So have a good evening, everybody. Thank you, Carla.
Thank you all
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Bye.
Thank you.